For emergency or backup power and food storage needs, Powerful Products has it all. Check out the new Goal Zero Yeti 150 Escape Kit, the perfect on-the-go solar power kit for emergency or camping. Available only at powerfulproducts.com.
When are the American people going to wake up to the gross tyranny that's taking place, to the gross affront and the acts of treason that is being committed, not only on the country itself, but on the people? You know, I just did a report on a gentleman, an investigative journalist, who in 2012, named Kevin Roose, had snuck into an elitist party of a secretive fraternity, Wall Street banksters, who literally were mocking and making fun of the Wall Street bailouts, the Occupy Wall Street protesters, the fact that Americans had to pony up trillions and trillions of dollars to support collapsing financial institutions that engineered and orchestrated the event in the first place. Dressed up in drag like women, some of them wearing makeup, and literally in theatrics acting and playing the part of this opposition, this middle class, this 99% that has been destroyed, this gigantic wealth transfer of trillions and trillions of dollars, and the elitists that live in a bubble in this false sense of reality, so far removed from what's real that the only thing they can do when they think they're in private is laugh and point a finger at the gross atrocity that has been the raping and pillaging of our economy and the financial system at large. In addition to that, we have bankers, numerous bankers, 5 that I reported on yesterday, and some reports leaking up to 12, with a recent Hong Kong JP Morgan Chase Forex executive jumping to his death just a few days ago. Bankers flying out of windows, jumping out of buildings amidst a growing Forex investigation and probe, specifically with companies like JP Morgan Chase, Deutsche Bank, and others in the limelight, committing criminal acts, trading for their own accounts, and front-running their customers in order to make billions, if not trillions of dollars, artificially inflating and deflating currencies, tossing it around like a ball of yarn, like a cat playing with the global economy, crashing the Argentinian peso some 20% just a few weeks ago. All of this a laughing matter to the global world elite. Their sights on total control and world domination. Again, making fun of you and me. Yet the American people sit passively in the background watching all this take place, watching the tragedy of these journalists disappearing. A Wall Street journal is named David Bird, going out for a casual walk, leaving his cell phone charging, 2 kids and a wife behind, and also his very important liver medication because he had a liver transplant, suddenly pulling off a Houdini act and disappearing. Nobody knows where he goes, having spent the last several months, very respected journalist, covering OPEC in the oil markets. Yet the mainstream media doesn't even raise an eyebrow. We have bankers in their 30s, early 30s, jumping off of buildings. We have other people being shot up with nail guns. There was a gentleman with the last name, I think, Atali, who ran a title company, who was shot some multiple times, not only in his body, but also in his head. Dead. Banker suicides. All of this laughter at these events throughout the entire financial crisis while millions of Americans suffered. While millions of Americans were out on the streets collecting welfare. Now we're all preparing for the rise of what I consider to be an act of treason in the form of Obamacare. 200 to 300 to 400% premium increases to hold insurance? This is where America is headed. You know, it's beyond me that these elitists that have raped and pillaged America and destroyed our country and helped to orchestrate and promote these trillion-dollar bailouts can show their face in the public without being attacked by mobs of people, by the 99.9999%. You and me, everyone else that is suffering on the streets. Yet these people continue to concentrate and organize more power. This global banking cartel that again is above the law. People like Lloyd Blankfein, Jamie Dimon, above the law. They're untouchable. People like Wilbur Ross, untouchable. You know, the FBI and these organizations supposedly investigating, but probably protecting these individuals. Nobody has gone to jail since the 2008 financial crisis outside of the scapegoat that was Bernie Madoff, who was a small-time player compared to the individuals that I just mentioned. Again, Lloyd Blankfein, as he said himself, famously, doing God's work, while the American people suffer and people like Wilbur Ross laugh, dress up their elite banker friends in drag, and mock the 99% and the multi-trillion-dollar bailouts that have only padded their pockets and enriched them with billions, if not trillions, of more dollars. Artificial wealth, 0% interest rates, and quantitative easing to infinity. You know, there's an old saying where you find out the wealth of something or what it's worth when you transact it. You know, if I sell you an ounce of gold, you'll find out pretty quick it's worth $1,300. If I sell you an ounce of silver and we transact that, you'll find out it's worth $21. That's the spot price. That's its tangible, real bullion value. But a dollar, a U.S. Federal Reserve note backed by nothing, can be borrowed at almost 0% from the Federal Reserve. If you can borrow the dollar at 0%, then what's its worth? I think you can come to that conclusion on your own. I'm Christopher Green, hard-hitting in your face. Click the link below to support our sponsor. Get this video out everywhere and make it viral.